Up. Ooh. I was a little tired this morning, guys. I'm not gonna lie.
To the sun with me, so I can show you something you've never seen. And both you and I shouldn't be too shy by letting go for once. Come and be free with me. Just look straight ahead, don't you stay behind, don't stay behind. Trying to make you feel right, 'cause our stars align. Can I make up your mind? There is so much we can do.
All right. Let's see what we got. Cool. Are we live on YouTube? It's getting there. Are we live on Restream? Yep. Streaming live.
All that you need to know, now that you understand what I'm trying to show you, is that you and I shouldn't be too shy.
All right, guys. We're just doing some troubleshooting on the stream real quick. My vertical video isn't popping up for some reason. Let's see.
Just look straight ahead, don't you stay behind. Try to make you feel right, 'cause our stars are aligned. Can I make up your mind? Follow me to the light, there is so much we can do in this life. Let it sink in, this is where we begin.
All right, well, I really don't think it's that big of a deal, so we're going to go ahead and jump into the stream. We got 2 on Twitch. Wanted to say what's up, guys. We do a $100 monthly Find Your People giveaway because the purpose of this stream is to help people find their people. So we want to come on the stream, answer your community questions and your communication questions so that you can get more connected to people in real life. And in addition to that, we want to give you a good laugh. So if you have a dog poop horror story or you have a heartwarming dog story, just a funny story you want to share with the stream, feel free to call in. You can text 512-591-6138, your name, city, and what you want to call in about to join the stream. I'm just now turning my Do Not Disturb off. And while we wait for call-ins or while we wait for comments to pop up on the stream, there's a few other things we do. Monday through Friday, we're typically trading, but today is a Sunday. So what we're going to do today is just go through segments on community, segments on communication, maybe react to some Reddit posts, see if we can help people out with community, with communication. And I mean, I would still love for my YouTube to be popping up, but it is not for some reason, and that is kind of annoying. But we're all good. We're live. We're doing this thing. Here we go. In fact, I could check if I'm live on YouTube. Let's see. Yeah. I don't think we are. It's just kind of irritating. Whatever. As long as we're live on all the other platforms. Let's go ahead and jump into a community segment real quick, guys. This is a good one. So I think a lot of people, there's this verse in the Bible called bearing burdens. Sorry guys, I'm so tired. Waking up at 5:40 in the morning when you're going to sleep at 10:40. So you really sleep by like 11:15, 6.5 to 7 hours. It's just not enough sleep, bro. I just need more. So today I actually didn't even wake up at 5:40. I woke up at like 6:57. So hopped on the stream, been up for like 15 minutes, but we're doing it. We're live. Here we go. This segment is, I was reading Reddit posts, and I read Reddit posts to like get real moments for people because I want to give advice to real moments. And this one came from somebody feeling like they were too much. Like nobody really cared about them. If you go to the lonely Reddit, r/lonely, you see a lot of people who feel like they're too much or who feel like nobody really loves them and they don't deserve love or nobody's really reaching out to them. And this is kind of what this segment is for. So let's jump into this, and then I can elaborate on it more later. I lied to the part of myself that kept begging for love because I thought I didn't deserve it. I spent years believing that nobody cared about my emotions, so I never shared things with people. Here are 4 things that helped me let people into my life and stopped loneliness and making myself feel crazy. First, you need to remember that love is something you don't deserve or earn. It's a gift. So I'm gonna reset this because that segment threw me a little bit. Here are 4 things that help me let people into my life and stop the loneliness of doing it all myself and feeling crazy. Okay, here we go. Take 2. I lied to the part of myself that kept begging for love because I thought I didn't deserve it. I spent years believing that nobody cared about my emotions, so I never shared things with people. And here are 4 things that helped me let people into my life and stopped the loneliness of doing it all myself and feeling crazy. The first thing, I needed to remember that love isn't something I deserve or earn. It's a gift to love, and it's a gift to be loved. If you question it, just think about how much your parents did for you when you were young and how long it took before you could start to reciprocate that, or reciprocate it for anybody in society. We were always loved before we deserved it or before we earned it. Second, you have to say the scary thing and don't hold back the truth of the matter. Too many people hold things back because they're scared they're going to lash out emotionally. But you can speak the truth without lashing out emotionally and not tiptoeing around the truth. Just say it direct, maybe write it down and read it in a very monotone voice so the words can be true, but the emotion doesn't flare. Third, we want to get help from people who can help. Often, tense emotional situations are the blind leading the blind. Find a third party that isn't as invested and can help you navigate problems. Because if you go with somebody who's in the heat of the moment, yeah, it's probably going to feel like you're burdening them or stressing them, and you're not going to be able to let them into that real raw emotion. Fourth, you want to be the shoulder to cry on. There's so many people out there who are feeling this exact way. They're lonely and they don't tell people, and they feel crazy because they think nobody cares. So be the person who cares. It's hard to have a relationship where you just take emotional energy from people because you haven't worked on yourself. So first, be the person who can share that emotional energy, and then that person will reciprocate. If they don't, start to decrease how much time you spend with that person and then move on from there. In order to not feel alone, you have to take the risk of letting people in, and the even bigger risk of loving people enough to be let in despite their initial rejection. Okay, I gotta text my VA. Timing on that one. Okay, so I really like that one. I went a little longer than I was supposed to, for sure. Like, I'm supposed to keep these to a minute, 30 seconds maybe. That was probably like a minute and a half, minute 45 seconds. But I like this segment specifically because I've been there. Like, I lied to the part of myself that kept begging for love because I thought I didn't deserve it. Man, in high school, I was doing everything alone. Guys, this is going to be a little crazy fact about me, but I was doing everything alone, and I wouldn't let anybody into my world, and it's because I thought nobody cared. And when I say I was doing everything alone and shouldering the emotion of that, like, it got to the point where I couldn't handle the emotion. I didn't think anybody else wanted to handle the emotion with me. Didn't have the skills to kind of cope through that, to be honest through that. And I stopped listening to music from like the ages of 12 to 18 because my household was so emotionally volatile, and I was like, well, when you lash out, things just get worse, but there's also no way to resolve the situation. So I'm just going to not have emotion. And so I turned off emotion. And so I didn't listen to music because music would stir up emotion inside of me. And I was like, that pisses me off. Like, I don't want that. And because I didn't want to be pissed, because I wanted to get through my world, because I felt so crushed by the weight of the emotion that if I felt it, I felt like I would have stopped performing, and I felt like I needed to perform to actually get out of the situation I was in life. I went completely apathetic. And that's what I mean when I say I lied to the part of myself that kept begging for love because I thought I didn't deserve it. It was like there was a part of me that was begging for love, begging for connection. I was like, hey, you don't need that. Hey, let it go. While I was trying to convince myself that the part that was begging for love was unnecessary. It's because I didn't know a safe place to get it. Anyway, that got deeper than you probably wanted real quick. But that's the truth of the matter. Like, that's how I was lying to myself consistently. When I say I spent years believing nobody cared about my emotions, I mean from the ages of 12, maybe 10 to 18. Another side note, when I was really young, I would cry a lot. Like, I would cry so much. Nobody likes when guys cry. You can say you do, but what it does show is like vulnerability and weakness. And that's all good and well if you're a strong man, right? Like, when you're a kid and people like doubt your strength and like are doubting your manhood, you know, puberty's happening, kids are horrible when it comes to all of that, and you start crying, you know, it brings into question a lot of things about you as a man in the teenage world. When you're a dad, You have kids, it's like good. I think it's good to cry. Like I wish I could cry more now. It's still hard for me to do it because of kind of how I conditioned myself when I was younger. But yeah, I don't think it says you're weak, but that narrative is definitely out there when you're growing up. And so when I was in 4th, 5th grade, like I would have teachers tell me to shut up in 2nd grade. My brother tell me to stop being a little biatch in 4th and 5th grade. And then by the time I got to 6th grade, I was like, nobody likes when I cry. It's not fun for anybody, and then it's not fun for me to not be liked. So I'm gonna stop crying. So I started muting my emotions from like 2nd or 3rd grade because I was always a problem to have that much emotion. So I never shared things with people. I kept the crying internal. I learned how to shut it off. And then I got really adept at it by the time I was in high school. And what happened in college? These are the 4 things that really helped me let people into my life. And guys, this is such a big deal because when we're talking about community, it's hard to be in community with people you're lying to. It's hard to be in community with people when you're lying to yourself. Like if you're not honest with yourself about the things you need and kind of where you're at, and so you're trying to be somebody else for someone else, it's just not going to work out. Like that community is going to fall apart. The relationships are going to become toxic. Like a lot of stuff is just going to happen. And I think most importantly, you won't be able to sustain it. So that's kind of why I'm going through this. It's like the importance of when you are alone and you feel that crushing weight of that emotion, reminding yourself that you don't need to deserve love, sharing it with a third party, saying the true thing with that third party and with the other parties involved, and then being that shoulder to cry on because everybody has emotional weight that's crushing them, and forming a relationship there, and then sharing your emotional weight. Because yeah, it's like you have your emotional weight, but if you become a person who's just taking all the time, it's gonna be really tough. So that's kind of why I'm going through these steps in detail, because it's this type of person that can be the cornerstone for building a really cool community. Like a really good friend can build a really cool community, and that's kind of what we're trying to get at here. So these are the 4 things that I did, or that I tried to do, and I'll kind of go through them one by one. First, I will check the chats, see if anybody's on. Man, YouTube still isn't going. That is so weird. Everything else is going strong, going good. Yeah, it's just YouTube. Give me 1 second, guys. Okay, there we go. That's what I need. Just need to reset it. Okay, so guys, these are the 4 things that help me stop being lonely. And the first is love. Remembering that love isn't something you deserve or earn. It's a gift to be loved and to love. If you question it, think about how long your parents/society loved you before you could do anything for anybody. So from the ages of like 0 to probably 18 for most of us, and let's be real, probably 25 for most of us, in the US at least. I know a lot of people take on a lot of responsibility a lot younger in other countries, but in the US, a lot of people are worthless till they're about, I say worthless. Everybody has intrinsic value, but worthless from a societal perspective of I'm contributing to society until they're about 25, 26, like some people early 30s. But from 0 until that age where you start becoming a productive, useful, reciprocal member of society, where you are helping people more than they're helping you, or at least equally to how much they help you, you were probably in a love deficit, if we'll call it. Like, people were doing more for you than you were doing for them, and they were happy to do it. And that's because love is not something you deserve. Love is not something you earn. Like, love is just a natural human thing where the other human is sacrificing something they care about for you because they love you. Like, that's sacrificing stuff for you is the kind of root of love. And so when you play the tit for tat game, it's not really sacrifice, it's more like a transaction. And so I think a lot of people treat relationships and love like they're transactional. And it's like, no, love is inherently like you are giving somebody something and you are not getting something back. Like, that is unconditional love, which is tough. Because a lot of our relationships are transactional. A lot of our life is transactional. It's like, I'm not going to go to work if I don't get money. Like, I'm not going to go on dates with you if you don't split the bill. Or I'm not going to go on dates with you if you don't pay every other time. Or I'm not going to be your friend if you never listen to me. Or what's another one? I'm not going to invite you places if you don't invite me places. Like, it just goes round and round and round. It's like, if you don't do this for me, I'm not going to do it for you. That's, you know, a reciprocal relationship, but it's also a transactional one. So the question is, how do you love somebody in that you sacrifice for them without expecting anything back and get a reciprocal relationship? Great question. That's a fantastic question. I think it's something called the law of reciprocity. In humans, like, when you are angry with somebody, they are more likely to be angry with you. When you are happy with somebody, they are more likely to be happy with you. When you are excited for somebody, they are more likely to be excited for you. It's just how humans work. Like, if you give somebody $5, they're going to feel like they're in debt and need to give you $5 back. So the transactional part of us, the wanting to return stuff in like kind, happens naturally. It's like human nature. And so for you, realize that your job is to just love people, because you can't deserve or earn love, but people shouldn't be able to deserve or earn your love either. So it's your job to love, and it's a gift to love people. And as you're loving people, a percentage of those people will love you back, and the percentage that don't realize that they needed that love, and they specifically need that love because they're in such a tough spot in life right now that they can't reciprocate. But then for the people who can reciprocate, you can keep them close, because yes, we need to be filled up as well, but you should always be willing to love people without expecting stuff back in an ideal world. Now, of course, we're all human, so that ideal world is far off. It's a good goal to shoot for, because it's not something you deserve and it's not something you earn. And if you didn't deserve it or earn it, why should other people have to deserve or earn your love? There's a parable about that one. It's not good. I think the parable goes something like, oh, what is it? I think the parable is something like, this dude had a lifetime worth of debt, and the master forgave him for like a lifetime worth of debt. And then he went to his fellow servant, and it was like, hey, you owe me a week's worth of wages. And then I'm going to throw you in jail and separate you from your family if you can't give me a week's worth of wages. And then all the other servants went and told the master, this is in the Bible, yo, this servant that you just forgave like 10 lifetimes worth of wages, or a lifetime worth of wages, just an absurd amount of debt, obscene amount of debt. He's not going to this dude for a much smaller portion of debt, not being able to do the same thing. Like, he's going to separate him from his family and send him to jail and yada yada. And I think that the master in the parable was not happy with that. And so I think similarly, if we spent a lot of our life receiving love without deserving it or without earning it, and maybe now you're in a position where you feel like you deserve it or earn it, but you didn't get there by deserving it or earning it. You're just now, you happen to be in a spot where you can fend for yourself a bit more. If that's the case, and so we were loved for extended periods of time without doing anything, can't we do the same for other people? That's the real question here. And for the fourth bullet. But we're going to get to the second bullet right now. Say the scary thing and don't hold back the truth of the matter. So, guys, this is a tough one. because people will often find themselves in situations where it is hard to tell the truth, because the truth is scary, because you can't handle the truth. Shout out to anybody who knows that movie, because I really don't. I just know the line, actually, funny enough. I think it's a military movie with Tom Cruise. You want the truth? You can't handle the truth. Yeah, I think he's an attorney, a military attorney. Anyway, let's see. Say the scary thing and don't hold back the truth of the matter. Don't lash out emotionally, but don't tiptoe around the truth. So this is really important, because when I think about allowing yourself to love and to be loved, you're going to have to hear hard things, and you're going to have to say hard things, because people experience hard things. And so to allow people to know you, you have to share hard things. So when I say the scary thing, it's like, what are you scared to tell that person? Make sure you tell them. But you have to tell the truth. I said, one of my friends is great at this, but speak the truth in love. Now, this is a little out of context, right? Because speaking the truth in love is like typically when you're giving feedback to somebody, or giving criticism to somebody, you want to tell them the true things about them, like point them towards the true things in love. We talked about that on an earlier stream. But here, I think it's like you can share the truth in love as well. So it's like when you have something you need to say that is like scary or emotional, don't hold back the truth of it, but don't lash out emotionally either. And this is super important, because people need to be able to receive what you're saying, and there's a sacrifice you make. So you sharing the truth opens yourself up to be loved, because people get to see a side of you and see if they want to sacrifice their preferences to love that side of you. Some people will, some people won't, and it'll hurt when they don't, but it'll feel great when they do. But by choosing to communicate in a way where they can hear it, demonstrating self-control such that you can kind of tame that emotion and share it with them, that's an act of love. Like, I know you want to hear this in a specific way, so I'm going to communicate in a specific way, and then I'm opening myself up to be loved in a specific way by you not judging me when I share it. So say the scary thing, don't hold back the truth of the matter. Get to the truth without lashing out emotionally. I would do that by writing it down and then just reading what's on the paper. And if you can distill it into a short few bullets to get to the essence of the problem, because you want to think through like, oh, it made me feel this way, and this detail and that detail and this detail, but it's really like, I felt betrayed because you did this, or you doing this made me feel betrayed, or whatever. Like, don't use the accusatory language, if you will. I need some education on that. But yeah, those are the first two bullets. This third bullet, get help from people who can help. There's another one, like if you're in the heat of the moment with somebody and it's a tense emotional situation and you guys aren't great at self-control yet, or it's just a tense emotional situation so you can't really expect somebody to have self-control there, it is it would behoove you to get some help from a third party, because there's that phrase, seeing red, and emotion really clouds your judgment. So we don't want to see red. And the way we don't see red is get somebody who's not seeing red, because we currently are. So get help from people who can help, and be the shoulder to cry on. I think this is the most important one of it all. Like if you're angry or you're lonely, man, going a little deep on the stream today, but a little deep with, I'm just like in depth. If you're lonely and if you're struggling and it's just tough for you and you have to lie to yourself and you don't think you deserve love, like how many more people feel that way? It's like when you were in school and you had a question, but you were scared to ask it because you don't want to be judged by the teacher of the class. But it's like 15 other people probably have that question. It's like 15 other people around you are probably feeling what you're feeling. And by you robbing them of you being a shoulder to cry on, you're keeping them feeling that way. And keeping yourself feeling that way because they're not reciprocating. Like somebody has to be the leader and like reach out to people, ask the hard questions, ask stuff that is real about those people, and like be that shoulder to cry on, so that then they can turn around and cry, so you can then turn around and cry on their shoulder. Like, start the reciprocal loop of really loving each other. And I like this last point. It's hard to have a relationship where you just take emotional energy from people. Like, if you're always looking for people to love you, to care about you, to do this, to do that, it's like you're selfish. I get that you might be depressed. I get that life might be hard. This is gonna be tough. But people are worried about their own life, which means your depression, how hard life is for you, is not top of mind for them. Not to say they don't care, it's just not top of mind, because they're focused on their own depression, their own anxiety, the depression of their own kids. Like, you don't know what's going on in people's lives. And so when you just add another thing, because they want to be a good friend, they want to care for you, but you add another thing without giving them something, it makes it really hard for that to be a consistent relationship. And so you can take emotional energy from people. It's just important to give more than you take, by relieving pressure, relieving stress in their life, because they're probably feeling what you're feeling to the same extent, if not worse. So it's like, how can you be that pressure valve for people? But it's balanced too, because you need your own pressure valve release. So that's all I want to get at. Yeah. In order to not feel alone, you have to take the risk of letting people in, and the even bigger risk of loving people enough to be let in, despite their initial rejection. I don't think I said that, but loving people is a risk. And with that, we can jump into the second segment. Oh, somebody's roasted me on Reddit.
To another flow. To another flow.
Yeah, guys, Reddit is interesting. It's like there's a lot of people on Reddit who are like really wanting some help, right? But I also feel like people come on Reddit just to vent, and I don't know, it's like there are people who come to vent, and then there are people who want help, and you just kind of have to wade through it. It's the hard part about like just wanting to help people, really. It's something I've come up against over and over again. It's like when you want to help people, you can't help people more than they want to be helped. And so there's something about how the wise don't talk much in the Bible, or like the wise hold their tongue. Fools are the people who talk a lot in the Bible. And man, there's just some truth to that, of like, I'm on Reddit, trying to help people, give people advice, and that dude was coming at me, or that girl was coming at me, I'm not sure which, because given that they said mansplaining, maybe a girl, I don't know, but it's just crazy when you're like trying to help and people come at you for it. But it's not like the people I was trying to help came at me. It was somebody else who was just like triggered by my advice to somebody else on Reddit. It's like, I don't know, it's just such a weird thing. It's like, I want to help that person too, but you're just coming at me for advice. It's like, would you rather I not share anything that could be helpful? Is it like, I think this is the thing, and this is something that I struggle with for sure. When people have hurt feelings, they need to feel heard first before they get advice, like hands down. I believe that to my core. On Reddit though, when people ask a question, I just give straight advice, and it's like, you have no emotional connection with that person. Why would they listen to your advice? So I think a lot of people on Reddit do a really good job of like building the emotional connection. I just don't know how good a job they do of giving advice after the emotional connection, because it is like the blind leading the blind. Like, everybody on Reddit lonely is lonely. Like, none of them have community. That's a sweeping generalization, so it's probably incorrect. But yeah, they come on Reddit to like complain, not to help. And so I don't know, just something I'm thinking about as I'm trying to help connect people, help find people, like just build this brand of like building community. It's like, what does it take to build top-notch community? Because, I have some poop scooping clients and I want to grow the poop scooping thing, but the top of the funnel for the poop scooping is building community, like dog parent community here in Austin, and then matchmaking, and then a percentage of those people want to throw backyard parties, and I can help them prep their backyards via poop scooping, right? And that's all good and dandy. But I really like helping people feel connected. Like, solving the community issue in life is so much more important to me. Like, so many people are alone. It's like they're lonely, they want friends, they want people to be around, and like they don't have anybody. And so I'm trying to figure out how to solve that problem, because that's what is like important to me as a person. Like, I can get 200 poop scooping clients, 300 poop scooping clients, be able to like leave my job, pay somebody to do it, collect some income, and like invest, et cetera, et cetera. Like, I think I'm fine from that perspective. But I think what's tough for me is, figuring out how to crack community. And right now it's like, we have this stream that I don't really know how to get people to, like, just being honest. Like, I'm running ads to it, but maybe it's at 7 a.m. Maybe that it needs to be advertised somewhere else. But I don't know how to get my first 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 people to the stream. So yeah, that's tough. I think if I could crack YouTube, that would be helpful for sure. But yeah, don't know how to get those people to the stream. And because I don't know how to get those people to the stream, it's like the rest of the funnel is not really trickling down. So we have that kind of bottleneck. And the way you get people to the stream is, well, you advertise, really. that is how you do it. The question is, how do I advertise well in a way that gets people to the stream? Is it nailing long form content? Is it just DMs for the first 100 people and then hoping the giveaway moves from there? I tried ads to the giveaway, and it's like they'll fill out the lead form for the giveaway, but they won't come to the stream and actually do the thing. Like I had 25, 26 leads come through and nobody actually come on the stream. So these are just things I'm thinking about, guys, because I'm like, I want to help people go from lonely to connected. Because when you go from lonely to connected, a lot of things get better in life. Your health, your wealth, and all of your relationships get better. The three big things, and your mental health probably gets better. Health, wealth, and relationships. Like everything gets better. You just have more purpose, more meaning, more people looking out for you, right? So anyway, that's just what I'm thinking about, guys. Not to say people who respond harshly on Reddit bother me, but it's more like, how do you help that person? I think the tough answer, something that I've like really sat with, is you can't. Like they have to be willing to be helped. And if they're in like defensive mode or victim mode for this particular area of their life, because I'm not saying it's that way for every area of their life, but if it's like that for this particular area, they're not going to accept help. And you're just going to be fighting them. So just something to think about. But let's see what we got going. See if we can get another stream segment in here. Oh yeah, this is a good one. Here we go. If you want to change your life, first change the people you spend the most time with. Most people hunt for hacks, but community wins every time. Here are the 4 steps that changed my life. 1, audit who I spent time with and how their habits shaped mine. I would always be looking at how the people in my church, how the people in my college, how the people around me, how are their habits and thoughts influencing my habits and thoughts. 2nd, I would make sure that I have a shared goal that's beneficial to everybody if I'm spending a considerable amount of time with them. So with Theo, my brother, we get up and we trade, and he'll come on the stream every morning and we talk about success together. We have this shared goal of helping out the family, so I spend a lot of time with him. With my wife, we have this shared goal of building a beautiful life together and spreading the gospel, so I spend a lot of time with her. So make sure you have a shared goal that's beneficial to everybody because it's aligned with their interests. 3rd, make sure there are stakes that influence behavior. If my brother and I don't succeed, the family suffers. If Gracie and I don't succeed, the immediate people around us suffer because they don't get to be loved as well as we could. 4th, stop hanging out with people that are distracting or inconsistent. And this is a hard one because that can be family, that can be close friends. But if somebody is distracting from the goal, they're inconsistent, they're flaky, they're not helping you, but they're hurting you, start to minimize time with them. You don't have to cut them off completely, because sometimes those people are in your life for a reason, but minimize time with them. Don't reach out as much, say no to some hangouts, kind of keep that cadence up, but make it slow so it doesn't distract from the goal. Because remember, your life upgrades fastest when your circle upgrades with it. Okay, I like that segment, guys, actually. Short, sweet, to the point. We're gonna hit this real quick. Minute 45 on 11:16 for another segment. So guys, I like this one, and honestly, the most important one here is the audit who you spend the most time with and how their habits shape yours. Like a long time ago, I was thinking about, hey, how are all these people like who are influencing my life like actually, like what is this actually resulting in, you know? It was a question that I had. And basically I was reading a bunch of self-improvement books, a bunch of stuff, and it was like I was listening to a bunch of people. I didn't have any clarity, I didn't have any focus, I didn't even have my own goal that was realistic that I could make progress toward now. And I was just really struggling there. really struggling. And so it was really cool when I said, I'm going to hunker down and I'm going to focus, bro. And it's like, if it's the Bible or if it's basically Alex Hormozy for business stuff or the Bible for life stuff, it's like one of those two things. Because if I adhere to those two things, I think my life will look how I want it to look. And so I spent the most time thinking about information from those two sources. And really, it's like, if Alex Hormozy stuff doesn't line up with the Bible, it's like, I ain't trying to do it. So it's like Bible first, Alex Hormozy for very practical, tactical business advice next, as long as it aligns with biblical principles. And so it's not just who you spend time with or how their habits shape yours, but who you spend time listening to and how their actions shape yours. Like when Alex Hormozy talks about doing the rule of 100 outreaches for 100 days and you'll have more leads than you want. It's like, oh, I just need to do that volume. Like that's pretty cool, you know, but nobody really does that volume for long enough. And so, I don't know, just something I'm thinking about. But yeah, that's what you do with the audit. It's like, yes, the immediate people you're spending time with, yes, how their habits shape yours, but also the information you're taking into, the role models you're considering, like they're affecting you as well. The other thing is to make sure you have a shared goal that's beneficial to everybody. So many people go around and it's just like, this kills me because it's hard to have a shared goal if you're not like building a business or working at a nonprofit or, you know what I mean? Like it's tough because very few people have goal-oriented time in their evening and in their morning. Like all of the goals are accomplished between 9 to 5 and it's your job, and it's because you only have financial goals because you're only trying to take care of yourself. And so I think inherently people are selfish. Of course, I am too. And when you have selfish people, they aren't considering others. Crazy, that's like the definition of being selfish. But because you're not considering others, you can confine your goals to 9 to 5. Like 6 to 10, it doesn't matter how you spend it because you took care of you between the hours of 9 to 5. And your weekends, it doesn't matter how you spent it because you took care of you from the hours of 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. But when you're trying to solve a problem, when you're trying to like improve your life in an uncharacteristic way, you're going to have to spend your 6 to 10 differently, your 5 to 9 differently, in the morning and in the evening. And that's 8 hours there where most people just kind of fiddle it away. But it's 8 hours we could be building community. Like you could do a workout group at 5:30, followed by prayer, followed by breakfast, followed by a remote working session. Like that could be you. And you'd be a lot less lonely if you spent the first 3 hours of every morning with people. 30-minute workout, 15-minute prayer session, 45-minute breakfast, shower and go to work. Like even that works, 5:30 to 8, you know? And so, I don't know. And then after that, maybe you guys are trying to build a business in the evening, and from 5 to 9, you're marketing. Just pure advertising because you're in the startup phase of a business, right? Like when you have that shared goal, it makes it clear how you need to spend your time. But when you don't have that shared goal, you end up doing a ton of stuff. Like board game nights or going to Activate. Like these are all things that I do with people and I love to do with people, but it's hard to be with those people consistently. Like there's 7 stages of community, and it's like small talk and consistent activity. Not having a shared goal pretty much stops you at consistent activity, because after consistent activity you have vulnerability. It's like, if I don't care about you enough to share a goal with you, why would I tell you about my life? Like there's no reason for that. We can get together, we can have fun for a little bit, and then go our separate ways. Because I have no reason for you to know these things about my life, because there's nothing we're trying to do together that would require you to know that information. Once you get a shared goal, it's like, hey, you need to know where I'm weak and I need to know where you're weak so we can cover each other's backs. So that makes a lot more sense, right? Same thing with more consistent activity. Why would I hang out with you more than once a week if we're not doing anything together, bro? Like, I got other stuff in my life. Whatever the other stuff in your life is, you need to figure out ways to intertwine that with people if you want to build real community, in my opinion. which, take it or leave it, it's not much. Obviously, stage 5, 6, and 7 is like goal oriented. It's like time towards goal, time and money towards goal, interdependence towards goal. And so, yeah, that just gets super tough to do if you don't have a goal. So yeah, having a shared goal is beneficial to everybody, takes you up the stages of community. And if you want to go from lonely to connected, going up the stages of community is probably a good way to do it. Make sure there are stakes that influence behavior. I like this one a lot because nobody really does anything without consequences. It can be good consequences, it can be bad consequences, but it's just consequences. Nobody does them without consequences. So you want to make sure there are stakes that influence behavior. And you want to stop hanging out with people that are distracting or inconsistent. And here's the thing. Here's the real. That's what Hormozy always says. That's funny. If you get focused on what you're trying to do and you just go kind of forge the path of doing that, it will take your time, it will take your money, it will take your energy, and it will take all of your thought power. And so then anybody else who's trying to do anything else will just naturally fall off. You won't have to stop hanging out with anybody. You'll be too busy. You'll be too busy living a life on mission, if you will, to like, this is what happened with Young Life. And it was always a sad thing for us. There were plenty of people who like wanted to do Young Life, but didn't want to do the whole full 20-hour kind of time commitment that the leaders were putting in when we were in college. And we were always like, there's all these people who want to do Young Life with us or who want to be part of our community, but don't want to do the stuff that the community does. And I was like, is there some way we can keep them in our life after the kind of recruiting season is over? And the tough thing was, we were just living different lives. Like, yeah, we want to keep you around, but the thing that makes the community good is that we do the stuff together. So if you don't want to do the stuff, but you want the community, it's like everybody wants to go to heaven, nobody wants to die. Everybody wants to go to heaven, nobody wants to die. And so the stopping, the hanging out with people that are distracting or inconsistent will just happen naturally as you become more focused. Because you'll be like, hey, I actually have plans from 6 to 9 today. I can't just watch the TV show that we usually watch, or I can't just go get drinks on a Friday night. Like, I have to do something for my customers this Friday night because I have to be ready to fulfill it on Saturday morning. You know, it's like that kind of tension will naturally help people fall off. And so you won't have to be intentionally cutting people off or intentionally minimizing time as much as you need to be filling your time with the good stuff, and that will happen as a consequence of it. That's what we got for you guys on the stream today. Want to upgrade your life, change your circle. If you want to feel a bit less lonely and you think you're too much, just remember, love isn't deserved or earned. You can speak the truth. Write it down if it's too emotional for you. Get help from people who can help. Involve a third party, just somebody. Doesn't have to be a professional. And be the shoulder to cry on. Choose to love people and then hope that they love you back. You ain't even got to ask, because most people will. That's what we got for you guys today on the show. Appreciate you watching. Sunday morning, you know, we always have less people join than during the week. And it's 7 a.m. So appreciate anybody who stopped by. And we will see everybody on the next one.